Benares, India's holiest town, lies on the banks of the Ganges. Here, as soon as day breaks, the center of town is heaving. Cars, rickshaws, motorbikes and pedestrians share that constant confusion. And there's some unusual cargo being transported through the daily turmoil. The colored cloths hide corpses. They've come from all over the country to be cremated on funeral pyres along the banks of the river. The Ganges is the ultimate journey for many millions of travelers. They've sometimes journeyed for thousands of kilometers to reach Benares. There are also those responsible for the thousands of tons of wood that are needed for the cremations. Ensuring they keep the sacred fires burning is a routine established by their ancestors centuries ago. Entire villages sometimes travel together, having made huge sacrifices for the pilgrimage of a lifetime, a journey of many days on foot, by bus or even tractor. And finally, there's the so-called coal route, a route dotted with pitfalls for the much sought-after mineral. It's the principal source of energy in India and much in demand. Dhanbad is 600 kilometers from Benares. It's the starting point for the coal route. Thousands of trucks constantly barrel up and down these roads. Pawan has been a driver for 6 years. He lives with his wife and 2 daughters in a tiny home where the only luxury is the television. Kiran is 14, 2 years older than Roshni, her sister. Don't take the medicine yet. Wait until tomorrow. When your temperature's gone, you won't need it anymore. Are you really leaving tomorrow? Yes, once we've loaded the truck. For the teenage Kiran, the frequent absences of her father means freedom. You're not sad when he goes? Not really. I make the most of it. Like being on my own for a while. But I don't like it when he's gone for long periods. We become anxious and worry about him on the road. Raising 2 girls is a daily chore for Pawan. In India, it's the father of the bride who provides the dowry, often a significant amount of money. What kind of future would you like the girls to have? Well, my dream would be to be able to pay for their studies, marry them off well, and dress them well. Those are my hopes, to provide them with a good future, a happy life. I work hard for it, so I hope it'll pay off. The Kasunda coal mine is the largest and most active of the 120 mines in the region. Dhanbad alone produces 28 million tons a year of coal. Not for nothing is it known as the coal capital of India. It's 7 a.m. and Pawan heads for the mine. The loading bay is in the center of the complex, 4 kilometers from the entrance to the mine. Next to him is his brother-in-law and assistant, Govind. They'll travel together. We'll load up and then take the Benares road. It will take about an hour and a half to fill. The workers here do it by hand. As someone who knows the routine well, Pawan is anxious to get moving. On some days, there could be as many as 800 trucks here, and if the loading is slow, it means being stuck in the mine for hours on end. Loading up is by hand. In India, labor costs so little, the mine owners decided not to mechanize the system. I used to be a loader when I started. I did this for 3 or 4 years at least, and then I got fed up with it. So I learned how to drive. But let me tell you, being a driver is much harder than being a loader. You work day and night. Once they're finished, we'll get going. We should make it to Benares tomorrow in the daytime, at the latest. 3 hours later, Pawan and his 16 tons of coal are set to leave the mine. By this time, there are hundreds of trucks in the queue to get on the road. It's a 4-kilometer stretch all the drivers dread. Because of the grabbers, as they call them. People who try and grab whatever coal they can from passing trucks. Well, who are these people? Petty thieves, locals who pinch out coal. Nothing much we can do about it. If you confront them, that leads to fights. If they take the truck, you'll lose your cargo and therefore money. The truckers stuck in the traffic jam face the same problem. A horde of little hands that immediately descends on their cargo. It's a well-oiled operation. As accomplices wait for the coal, the smaller kids have thrown off the truck. It takes agility to storm the vehicles. Women and children all take part. The grabbing at the Kuzunda mine has become a family business. Some 500 families live just below the embankment. Some have been here for generations. At some point, all left their villages to live here. Stealing coal is now their only livelihood. Bablu was born here 13 years ago. He's the only child of grabber parents and has grown up knowing little else. He's now at the head of a small business and the family's breadwinner. I'm the leader. My job is to get the coal off and my friends pick it up. You're in charge then? That's right. Authorities at the mine gave up trying to stop the grabbers a long time ago. There's simply too many of them. Besides, the amount of coal they take remains small. Bablu and his gang seem to have a promising future before them. We're not doing any harm, really. It's just a way to survive. My family is very poor. How could we eat if I didn't do this? I never went to school, you know. Never held a pen in my hand. Just coal. On a good day, Bablu and his comrades might each earn the equivalent of €3. That's the way it is here. The people simply won't get jobs. Stealing our coal is the only way they live. They have no choice. They don't do it to annoy us. In a brief lull, Pawan decides to start up. Flooring the truck, it's straight ahead. At this speed, only the most experienced grabbers dare attack the trucks. Pawan loses very little coal, just a few dozen kilos. It's Benares next stop, but the road ahead is infamous. "300 kilometers to the west is home to the Gaza tribe. Until a decade ago, the Gazia refused to give up their nomadic lifestyle. Now they live off the land and from their livestock. The fields are full of mustard. This year's crop is particularly generous. In the village, people gather below this tree to talk and sample the local speciality, wheat patties cooked in cow dung. Only the inside is consumed. It's a matter of taste. Bajnat is the village headman. To thank the gods for the good harvest and ask for greater prosperity, Bajnat is making the journey to Benares, a trip that will take 2 days. We're very poor, we work hard, but we have nothing. Our children have no future here. There are no schools anywhere near here, no hospital, not even a road. But the harvests were good this year. Not bad, but we're doing all right. We're off to Benares to bathe in the Ganges. We'll take our joys and sorrows with us. The goddess of the Ganges will purify us. It's important, believe me. Our lives will be better, our worries will disappear. The Ganges will wash them all away, all our despairs. As night falls, they celebrate their impending departure with music. About 20 will travel to Benares using a tractor they've hired for the trip. It's the only means possible to get there. The road is really bad. If the tractor tips over on a turn, it could be painful. Still, that's the way it is. Whatever the risks, it's so rare for us to go as far as the Ganges. Crammed into the trailer, the tribe's pilgrims will have to put up with discomfort for the 300-kilometer-long journey. Well, we all saved up to be able to afford the tractor. We'll go as far as the city and then take the bus for Benares. The hardest part lies ahead. Hours spent on a perilous descent into the valley in the scorching heat before heading on towards the Ganges. These trees cut down further to the east will also soon be heading for Benares. All year long, woodcutters are busy in the region's forests. Do you know where the wood is going? To Benares. Why is that? For cremations, it's our wood that's used to burn the bodies on the Ganges. Trucks will pick up the wood stacks that have been deposited on the edges of the forest. Women do the physical work of loading, and driver Ramakan watches with barely a hint of embarrassment. They work hard, the women. How much do they have to load up? Oh, about 16 tons. True, though, it's not easy for them. Your work is easier, though. Yeah, well, everything's relative. Driving isn't easy either. The highway that leads straight to Benares is just 2 hours' drive away, and only a few stretches of the mountain road seem to worry the drivers. The road is in very poor condition here. There are potholes everywhere. It's even worse up ahead on the climb up. Is it a steep climb? It's a sharp climb for 4 or 5 kilometers, and it's rather dangerous. This is where most accidents occur. There was one there just the day before yesterday. A truck turned over a bit further up and the driver was crushed. I'm not too keen on this part. Ramakan drives with extreme caution. It's still another 5 hours to Benares, where relatives are waiting for the precious cargo to cremate their dead. It'll take the members of the Gaza tribe considerably longer to reach the banks of the Ganges. So far, they've barely covered half the distance. The path, already slippery, becomes increasingly dangerous as it twists and turns. The tractor could easily run out of control. It's safer to get off and continue on foot. But it's hard on the women and children. How's the trip going? It's hard. The road's dangerous. But the main thing is to get to the Ganges. Will you bathe your baby in the river too? Of course, the baby and the other children. It doesn't matter what we endure, it's all worth it. I'm happy to be going to Benares. A few kilometers further on, there's been an accident. While reversing, a tractor overturned on the slope. Miraculously, only one of the passengers in the trailer was killed and a few others slightly injured. Are accidents frequent? Oh yes, this is at least the 7th on this spot. Apparently one passenger was killed. Yes, I know. I knew lots of them. But why ride on a tractor then? Aren't you scared? Well, we don't have a choice. It's scary, yes, but I can't do anything about that. We live at the top of the mountain, and it's the only way to get down to town. It's taken 6 hours to reach the nearest town in the foothills of the valley. The first leg of their odyssey is over, and it's time to get to the bus station. The hugely overcrowded bus will take them as far as Benares. Grandma, get up, let us sit down. Find somewhere else. I'm not budging. Are you paying for the tickets? Yes, no problem. So how many of you are there then? We're 15 or 20, I'm not really sure. To pay, Bajnat needs to double check how many people from the village are traveling. Overwhelmed by exhaustion, he's forgotten. What's happening? Well, the controllers asked me to count everyone up again. I need to pay for the tickets. That's 20 tickets. 25 euros, please. That's expensive, isn't it? No, it was in the budget. We put aside money for everything, like we did for the tractor. For the villagers, this meant making sacrifices, as 25 euros is the average monthly salary in India. Hurtling along to try and make up for lost time, the bus takes some considerable risks. Despite the potential danger, Bajnat seems unperturbed. You're not used to traveling by bus, aren't you scared? It's going so fast. No, it's fine. I'm confident. It's a main road. Nothing can happen to us before we reach Benares. He might be unaware of the danger or just fatalistic. To Hindus, death doesn't signify the end, but the beginning of a new life, reincarnation. Back on the coal route, Pawan and Govind have been driving for 4 hours. Fatigue is beginning to creep up. Mind the side. Yeah, I saw. There are holes in the road everywhere. On the narrow roads, the hardest thing is to overtake. The job of the assistant is vital, as he's the one who assesses the risks. There are many difficulties on this road. There are small children, there are cows. You have to be very vigilant. You might hit an animal or a person. If that happens, the locals here attack the drivers. And there have been times when they've burnt the driver's truck. Once there was a cow that suddenly came into the road, slammed on the brakes, but I couldn't stop in time and I hit it. The villagers pounced on me and beat me, and I had to give them 20 euros before they let me go. Just for injuring a cow. To get away without further damage, Pawan had given up half his wages. Such incidents are common in this part of India, known for its high crime rates. At night time, bandits target the traffic. It's best not to drive at night time here. It's infested with thieves. It's a serious problem on this road. At nightfall, you can't drive here anymore. Yeah, I know. There are too many robbers. They could take everything, even kill us and steal our truck. It can happen here. Here and throughout the region. Yeah, it's an awful region. dark, Pawan has trouble staying awake. The road is meant to be one way, but some vehicles risk going against the flow. I'm tired, but I'll drive another dozen kilometers and then stop for a nap. Oh, so you won't drive all night then? No, I'm too sleepy. I'd be risking an accident, and my boss would be on my case. If I hit someone or something, I've had it. Better to take a break at the busy driver's cafe. The place is dilapidated, and you need a strong stomach to eat the special. How's business? Oh, it's okay. We're open 24 hours a day, and a lot of drivers stop here. There are trucks day and night on this road. There's a rapid turnover and the service is efficient, but the staff doesn't have time to be polite. Do you like your job, Pawan? No, not really. Why not? Well, it's hard, very hard. Being far from my family is hard to endure. I miss them. As soon as I leave home, I suffer. Despite his boss's fatigue, Govind's future seems mapped out. My dream is to learn to drive and do this job. I've been with Pawan almost 2 months, and I'm working hard to become a driver one day. Pawan and Govind will sleep here among the tables. Tomorrow they'll get to Benares and its legendary traffic jams. It's 3 in the morning in Benares, the town that never sleeps. Ramakan, the wood transporter, has reached his destination. First, I need to weigh the truck and then unload on the banks of the Ganges. The workers are waiting for us there. This is where the wood is offloaded. In charge is this man. His name is Ramesh. For 3 generations, his family has transported the wood by boat to the cremation sites. But at this time of night, he needs to round up some volunteers. Ali Musa, come on. We need to unload some wood. Do it yourself. Come on, I need 7 or 8 blokes. No, I told you. Hey guys, get up. There's a truck coming. Get up, let's go. His persistence finally pays off, and a dozen or so men are waiting for Ramakan's truck. Go on, undo the ropes. So the trip's over? Yeah, so over for me anyway. What about the wood? I drop it here and they take care of the next part. To unload 16 tons of wood, the workers use a rapid and efficient method. They simply throw everything over the side. Is wood profitable? Oh yes, it's one of the best. I have about 30 people in my group. We've already unloaded 2 trucks this morning, and each worker will earn about €5. It's not much for such hard work, but that's the rate. It's the same everywhere. In just a few hours, the wood will need to be put onto Ramesh's boats and taken to the cremation site. Daybreak in Benares. The center of town is already buzzing. Nimble rickshaws weave in and out of the frenzied traffic. Ratan knows the town inside out. He's spent the past 6 years moving quickly through every square inch. In Benares, satisfying the client means knowing how to cycle swiftly, making use of every spare millimeter to juggle and squeeze through the other traffic. Mind where you're going, you moron. Is it always this busy in Benares? Depends where. Here, yes, because we're close to the markets. The shops get their deliveries, so there are always trucks and carts double parked. The streets are narrow.
अभी स्कूली बस है, छोटी रोड है.
How do you put up with this constant chaos?
मतलब ये भीड़-भाड़ में चलने का, बोलने का.
Oh, I'm used to it by now, driving through the crowds and all the noise.
आदत हो गया.
Aren't you worried about accidents, moving so quickly? No, I've been driving for years, and I know exactly what I'm doing on my rickshaw. I'm not put off by the traffic, you just need to remain focused. If I took my eyes off the road, then I would have an accident. Ratan was not meant to become a rickshaw driver. He was born on the banks of the Ganges and had been destined to become a fisherman. Far from the clamor of the town center, this area of Benares has traditionally survived through fishing. Despite his community's reservations, Ratan always knew he would do something else. I never liked fishing, let alone boats. There's so much sun, it ruins your face, and your feet are constantly in the water. Ever since I was a kid, I hated all of that. I always wanted to be a rickshaw driver. At least I get out and about, meet lots of people, and discuss many things. Fishermen are stuck in their own world. They never see anyone, and besides, there are no fish during the winter. They fish only in the summer, and during the monsoon, just 8 months a year. His father, who wasn't convinced to begin with, now says Ratan made the right choice. He preferred driving a rickshaw, and it's worked out, so that's good. The important thing is he can feed his family. Hello, can we we have a bite to eat, please?
ओ भाई पैसा हम लोग कितना है हाँ लगा
Among the drivers, the conversation inevitably revolves around the day's traffic.
खाना भी करा जब पीछे करा और उसको रखा अभी इतना भयंकर
See the jams this morning? Terrible. Every time I made my way through, I was blocked again. A few minutes later, it cost me €3 in petrol to make a €1 fare. Despite the stress and the risks, piloting a rickshaw is still a much valued job in Benares.
स्वाद सही है वो ऑटो तो मैं किराए पे चला
I rent my rickshaw.
उसका किराया
It costs me €4 a day.
250 रुपए प्रति दिन था तेल डलवाने
After paying for petrol and the rent, I make about €10.
400, 450, 500 बच जाता है अब इसमें
I would make only half of that in any other job here.
मात्र 200 ऊपर नहीं कमाएंगे
€10 a day is a terrific salary for India. In Benares, however, the biggest threat to the rickshaw driver comes from the police. They don't pay for their rides, and they extort all the drivers.
पुलिस वाला ऐसा जैसे किसी को कहीं जाना पड़ता है
When a policeman wants to go somewhere, he stops your rickshaw, climbs in,
पैसा देते न लेते हैं
never pays a cent.
भाई बोलते
If
पैसा
you dare ask for money, he might take you down to the police station.
छोड़ते नहीं है
We have no choice,
मांगे तो बंद कर देंगे गाड़ी
so you need to pay them off. Of course.
लेते हैं बाई चांस
They arrest you for nothing, and you have to pay.
ले लेते हैं
The worst are the traffic police, who constantly want money.
वो 10 रुपए रोज ले लेते हैं
And they often hit us with their batons. They'll leave you alone once you've handed over €2 or €3.
50 देके गाड़ी छुड़वाते हैं
After an uncomfortable 2-day journey, the Gaza tribe arrives overnight and decides to stay in the ashram, a religious retreat. There are hundreds throughout Benares. The pilgrims are sheltered and fed for free, along with some other clients. Is it going to be a great day? And how? When our children will be grown up, they'll be able to say how their parents took them all the way to Benares. I don't think they'll ever get another chance. We're here and I'm so proud. The Gaza approach their goal. Finally, the Ganges. We're finally here. I hope we and our children will be rewarded, and that our future will be a happy one. Will you take some water back to the village? Of course, yes, we'll take some for all those who weren't able to come. Oof, I can't feel my feet or my legs anymore. Doesn't matter. I'm shattered, but I'm so happy. The trip was endless, dangerous, but we've made it. We're at the Holy River. Well, what are the candles for? To honor the goddess of the Ganges. Here we are. Hand them out. The offerings are to help make their most cherished hopes come true. That of a bountiful harvest, enough to feed the entire tribe. A few hundred meters further on, Ramesh's men are loading up the wood they'd unpacked during the night. You didn't sleep much last night, I suppose. No, I couldn't. I had to supervise the stocks of wood in the boats to make sure they didn't get wet. The wood is the most important thing. I'd be responsible if anyone had stolen it. The wood's journey will continue on the Ganges, as you can see. I'll take it to the banks where the cremations take place. It's my small contribution for all those who are going to paradise. We work hard, but there mustn't be any problems. It's so important to the families. I too will die one day and go up to the heavens. I hope someone will be there to do the work I'm doing now. It takes Ramesh barely an hour to get to the cremation site, but it will take his men 5 times longer to unload the boat. This is where the families come to burn their dead. To keep the fires going, thousands of tons of wood have been stockpiled. As many as 300 corpses are cremated here every 24 hours, day and night. The dead are placed in the same location in downtown Benares. It's known as the Square of the Dead. There's a constant shuttle of jeeps carrying the corpses, which are clad only in a sari. The bodies are attached to a bamboo stretcher and transported by the family. They must negotiate the traffic over several kilometers to get to the sacred banks of the river. Where are you from? From Jaunpur. Is that far? It's 70 kilometers. We came by jeep.
Yeah, from Varanasi. By jeep aaye hain. Yeah.
Sarab lost his mother the night before. Accompanied by his father and his brothers, they immediately set off for Benares. Glory to the goddess of the Ganges. Hold her tightly. Why are you dipping the body in the water? The Ganges is sacred, so it will purify the body. It's very important to us to be here, especially for my mother. To have the possibility to cremate her in this holy place is an immense privilege. In Hindu mythology, the soul of a body cremated in Benares will avoid the various cycles of reincarnation and travel straight to paradise. The belief is so ingrained that when the elderly feel close to death, they come to Benares to wait for the end. The first stage of the cremation ritual is shaving the widow of the deceased woman. My father needs to have his head and beard shaved. It's the tradition. He will set fire to the funeral pyre and make sure the cremation is carried out properly. I'm sad, of course. She was my mother. But being here for the cremation makes me feel at peace. She's undertaking her last great journey to paradise. We tried our best to save her, but it was God's will. On the other side of town, Pawan, Govin and their consignment of coal have finally arrived. Oh, I'm so glad we're here. The depot's close by. Oh, I've really had enough. His joy will be short-lived. Outside the depot, there's a gigantic jam, which is not unusual for Benares. No sign of the police, but a manager from the coal depot, the largest in the city, is in the middle of the road, trying to direct traffic. I'm trying to clear the entrance. Oh, okay, thanks. It's totally blocked. Where do you want to go? There, to the right, to the depot. Come on, get moving. And you! Reverse! It's taken Pawan 2 hours to cover the last 3 kilometers of his trip. The huge amount of coal from the region's mines is stockpiled here. Every day, hundreds of trucks are loaded and unloaded, and the coal is then shipped all over the country. How much is in here? 4 tons. No stone mixed up in it, right? No. How long have you been loading up for? About half an hour? When will you finish? In 3 or 4 hours, more or less. You need to work faster, guys. Too many trucks are already obstructing the depot. Pawan and Govin face an extremely long wait. Pawan, it's blocked. There are trucks everywhere. I can't offload yours for a while yet. Could take another day or two. Go bathe in the Ganges. It'll do you good. Okay, boss. You know, it's the first time I'm on the banks of the Ganges. True. Well, at least you can get to bathe in it. Oh, the water's a bit cold, though. Feels good, though, doesn't it? I'll say. It's good to have a wash after the journey. We were so dirty. And the water will purify us too. We need to pray and ask the goddess of the Ganges to protect us. It's said that those that die here go straight to paradise. I know, and I'd like that. To die here in Benares and head straight to paradise.
किशोरी तेरे चरणन की रज पाऊं किशोरी तेरे चरणन की